In this tutorial in CyberLink PowerDirector, we take another look at building your own particles. In this exercise, we're going to show you a second lesson on changing the properties of your particles. And so we're going to move to the particle room by clicking on the spray of dots, or press the F6 key, and then we'll move to the top and look at the folded piece of paper with a plus in the lower right corner to take us to the particle room. It will open the last place it went looking for particles. I'm going to click on the football in this case and click on Open. Now the default is for the emit method to be the point and the particle style to be the bubble. The particle styles, each of them have certain properties that they share and others that they don't share. And we'll talk about that before we're done with the lesson. But I'm going to aim the particles to the right, and I'm going to narrow the spread so they come out in a straight line. This will illustrate some of the properties we're going to look at in this lesson. The first one we want to look at is the wave amplitude. Now the wave amplitude is basically the vertical movement of the particle up and down. If I play this using the default value of 0.15, watch what happens. There's just a little slight motion vertically with that particle. Let me change it to 3. And we'll play it again, and now you notice there's a lot more up and down. The other option you have is you can change the variation between the particles in up and down. The default is 100. Let's change that to 500. And here that controls the variation between the particles. You have a lot more diversity when you set it to 500 than when you had it at 100. I'll drop it back to 100 now. So amplitude is vertical movement up and down. Frequency is horizontal movement. Now everything's moving horizontally, but this will determine how the arc is, how long it takes to go up and come to the baseline area, or how long it takes to go down. Is it a very sharp, short movement, or is it a long movement? That's what the frequency does. The default is 200 on the frequency. When you see it again, let's take the 200 and move it up to 900. Again, I prefer typing in the numbers. I get more precision. And now it's real long to get from one point to the other. It also impacts the vertical motion. Let's go back to maybe 300. Now you see the arc up and down, a little wider, more horizontal motion. And again, you can change the frequency. The default's 100, and that will cause you frequency variation in this slider. But you have your horizontal motion in wave frequency, and then you have wave frequency variation. We won't give you more examples of that. You should be able to figure that out by now. The next value is symmetry. With symmetry, the higher the value, the more asymmetrical the wave will be. The lower the value, the more symmetrical. So the default right here is very symmetrical, same motion up and down. If we raise this, I'm just going to use the slider in this case to 500. We find a lot more variation. So in a sense, this randomizes your motion a lot more. The next one we have, I'll move this back to 0, and I'm going to reduce the maximum count to 14, so we only have 14 footballs to look at. The next one is rotational speed. If you move to the right to a positive number, they spin counterclockwise. Let's play. If you move to the left or type in a negative number, the particles will spin clockwise. And again, you have a variation scale that goes with rotational speed. The default is 100. Again, we can change it. Let's change it to 300 and see how that impacts our particles. A lot of this is trial and error to get the kind of look you want, but you begin to see some of the tools you have. There's one more we'd like to look at, which is called gravity. The default gravity here is 0. Let's do a gravity of 0.1. And watch what happens. They wind up going down. You're adding gravity to the forward motion, but now they're coming off the screen at the bottom, only at a 0.1. You don't need much gravity. Let's do a 0.5 and show you the difference. Now they don't get quite to the end of the screen, many of them. So the more gravity is, if you have motion against gravity in that particle, it will pull it down faster. Let's try a 0.9. And you can go above 1 if you want, but if you have gravity so strong, sometimes you don't even see the particle move on the screen. You notice how short they are. None of them reach the end of our display screen because our gravity is more on the particle. So that's that value. Let me add another couple options here. We have some others. We have a blink particle style. And I'll move it over here. And we will increase the size so we can see better. And when I simply play this, I think I need to turn the rotation off first. Let's take the rotation and we'll type it over and make it 0. Okay, now we're using the blink property, and this is what happens at the normal default. But when I use the blink property, I have a new scale called blink time. Here it's set to 1,000. Let me set it to 50. And notice the difference. The smaller the number, the faster the blinking. Let's do 5,000. The larger the number, the quicker it takes to finish its apparent movement or blinking. So you can change this any way you want. Let's go up to the maximum and see what happens at 10,000. That's the blink factor. There's another option when we have the spring. When I click on the spring method, remember, in the spring, everything moves to a specific location and stops. I'm going to spread out now so you can see more. And we'll reduce the size a little bit here. And when we play with spring, they come from the emit point, and then they all freeze at a trajectory that's equal to that. That's the spring. Now, if you want them to stop at a different location, you do have another parameter with spring. That's spring distance. Now watch what happens when I move the slider. And now when I play this, they lock that far away. And I can actually have them lock at the edge of the screen or off the screen or even tighter if I want. So that's another option with that particular type. When we have spread, normally we want our size to be pretty small because it enlarges it. But you notice most of the attributes of particles that we have with spread are those that we had over with bubble. So you can experiment with different kinds of emit methods. Here we have gravity applied also when we do the ball. And we can increase or decrease the gravity. Let me change the size of the particle and play this. In gravity, remember, everything bounces to the bottom and then slides forward. if you're at this kind of angle. Now let's change the gravity. Here it starts at 0.9. Let me back it up to 0.15 like we saw before. And again, the balls are in the air longer, as it were, because the gravity is less. So there are many variations you can use just by using these properties of particles. We encourage you to experiment with them and see how they work for you as you design and modify particles for your productions.